This is the first in a series of workouts that I put together for older guys like myself who are less interested in being able to compete in a beauty pageant, more interested in being functionally fit, being able to perform at a high level in the real world. I've competed in Spartan obstacle course races with my kids for the last several years, and they've been a lot of fun. They test your physical capacity to its limits and your mental capacity. They're very difficult, and these workouts are designed to help you get in good enough condition that you could also compete in one of those races if you want and be successful. But even if you don't want to compete in one of those, if you just want to perform at a high level in the real world, then these exercises can be for you. These workouts will help you live a more functional, more engaged, and probably even a longer life. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so today we're working on the pull portion of our push-pull split, or in other words, what we're gonna do is legs, back, biceps, and abs. So we're gonna start that off with squats. But first, we're just going to warm up a little bit, just going to take a minute to warm up. Real simple, just trying to get some blood flowing in the legs, kind of help us not suffer from an injury during our workout. We'll do this for probably a minute. You can make it a little bit more engaging of your core by doing this. But while you're doing this, if you concentrate on your core, concentrate on tensing up your abs, you'll get a little bit more benefit than just the warm-up. So rather than bore you with all of this warm-up time, I'll cut here and we'll move on to the actual lift. Okay, so we're going to just do basic squats. I'm starting out with 135 pounds. Everyone's different, so start where you're comfortable. Can't emphasize enough, good form over a lot of weight. Don't worry about how much weight. Make sure you have good form. Think about this all as practice. You're practicing doing it right. And the more you do that, the better the strength will come as you go. So we're going to start off with 135. Now, I like to do mine because I'm working out alone. I don't have a spotter. I like to make sure that I have safety in mind while I'm doing this. So first thing is I have a bench between my legs when I do this, and when I do my squats I sit down on the bench and come back up. That way, if I can't come back up, if I've gone too far, at least I'm sitting down, I'm not in a dangerous position. I also do my squats without collars on the bars, because it gives me another option that if I can't get back up, I can always dump the weight and then I'm still safe. So here we go. So when I do a squat, a lot of guys start off, they'll put the weight way up here on their neck, and that's not a good idea. That's hard on your neck and it's not very comfortable. So if you go down a little bit, get it sitting on your muscles, it's a lot better. And then basically it's a simple down and up. Kind of push your ass out first so that you don't end up doing this. And that way your spine stays straight up and down and you don't risk a lower back injury. My warm-up weight I usually do about 10 reps with, and then I'll take about a 1 minute or so break. I'll add my weights to the bar while I'm taking my break and then come back for my next set. I lost count there actually, but I think that was around 10. So get a warm-up set. We're going to end up doing 4 to 5 sets, progressively adding weight. Usually I'll take it up to a point where I can only do at the most 6 to 8 reps, and then I'll unload the bar, probably bring it back down to this weight and rep out for another 10 or 15 reps just to build some lactic acid, just to give my legs kind of a blast at the end of the lift. So that's squats. Okay, so this is my fourth set. We went up to I'm at 245 now. So we started at 135, going up to 245. So it's not quite double what my warm-up weight was, but you can see it's quite a bit more as a percentage than what I warmed up with. And you can see by that 8th rep, I might have got one more, maybe two, but I was definitely pushing failure. And that's the goal when you're strength training, trying to really add the muscle. So the first lift was squats, and squats primarily work your quadriceps, the fronts of your thighs. They work your glutes a little, and a little bit your calves get involved, but the primary mover is your quads, really your quads and your glutes. They also help because of balance and all of the coordination involved. They also help your core because you do have to stabilize that weight, and it's all being stabilized by your core on your little tiny spine back here. So the next exercise we're going to do is deadlifts. Now, a lot of people will tell you that deadlifts are a bad idea for older men. If your goal is to lift the heaviest weight possible, I would agree with that. But if your goal is to maintain functional strength and stability, then I disagree, and I think deadlifts are a great lift. There's more than two ways to do a deadlift. We're going to do kind of a modified straight leg deadlift. And the goal of this particular lift is to work your glutes, your hamstrings. Again, a little bit your calves are going to get involved in this, and your core muscles, your stabilizing muscles, along with your back. You're going to be warming up your lats back here and a little bit of your biceps. So there's a lot of, all of these lifts are the big lifts, the core lifts of any exercise program that involves lifting weights. And the reason that they are is because they involve they're compound lifts that involve so many muscles that they benefit your whole body just about by doing them. So, again, so the deadlift. So, again, here I am starting with 135 pounds. Not so much concerned from a safety standpoint of having to get out from under the weight because I can just drop it. But just for ease, I'm leaving the collars off because I'm going to slap some more weights on right after I do this warm-up set. So, I like a grip where one hand is pointing one way and the other hand is pointing the other way. Just a comfortable grip, and it seems like you can hold onto the bar a lot easier doing it that way. And so when I try and go on the outside, some people like to go on the inside. I find that very uncoordinated. So this is all like most exercises. It's a matter of finding what's comfortable and what allows you to perform the exercise with the best form possible. So here's my take on it. I grab the bar just outside my legs, one palm up, one palm down. I go down into basically a squat position, make sure my back is flat, and then simply come up. And then I repeat. So I'm bending my knees every time. There is a straight leg where you just go straight down and straight back up, and that really works your glutes, but it limits how much weight you can do. And doing it this way covers a lot more muscles. Again, I'm getting some warm up in my biceps and in my back, which is going to be helpful in the remaining exercises that we do today. So again, 8 or 10 reps for your first set, and then work your way up on weights and maybe down to 5 or 6 reps on your final set. Oh, so our next move is chin-ups. Chin-ups are pretty hard for a lot of people. So you might not be able to start right off doing a wide grip chin-up, that position. That's the most difficult position to do it in. So a lot of different modifications that we can do when it comes to chin-ups. One of them is just turn your hands this way and do them this way, like so, because your arms are might be a lot stronger, and you can, it's just a better leverage position. You're still getting to use your back, but your arms are playing in quite a bit there. That's one way. Another way is if you have a stool, something to get up on, or even if you just jump, and if you can't do a full pull-up, you can do the negative part of the pull-up. So instead of starting at the bottom, start at the top and just let yourself down slowly. And then go back up and repeat. And you go through that process the same amount of times. Do it 6, 7, 8 times, whatever you can do comfortably. And, well, not comfortably. We want you to get uncomfortable, but you get the idea. Now, another way, if you can't find a stool, if you don't have any other possibilities, you can go to a countertop, and we'll imagine that this is a countertop in your house, and you can do them like this. It's a good way to start if you can't do them any other way. So, several little variations, pretty simplistic, I realize, but I'm trying to keep it simple so that anybody can do it regardless of how much equipment you have available and what your strength level is. So this, again, chin-ups is primarily for your back. These muscles right here is what gives you the V shape, but you're also working your biceps. So we're gonna do one more exercise for the back, but again, do chin-ups, do 3 sets if you can pull it off. Even if you're only getting 1 or 2 or 3 reps, do it because you'll get better as you go. Okay, so now for the last thing we're going to do for our back, which also is going to do biceps. We're going to do bent over rows with a dumbbell. You can do these with a bar as well, but I like a dumbbell because you can kind of focus more on the muscles, really get at that mind-muscle connection going on. So I like to use a bench. You can also just do it leaning on your knee like this. I'm going to use the bench. And basically we start with the dumbbell on the floor like this. And the movement, you're going to bring the dumbbell up here, but you really want to focus on kind of bringing it back rather than bringing it up here. And if you look at that movement, you can see that when I go this way, I'm really using more of my back muscles to do that and not so much my bicep. Versus when I come up here, it's mostly my arm doing the work. So the goal here is to work your back. You are going to work your bicep, but the focus is on your back. So basically, 8 per side. 1, 2, just like this. Very simple. 5. And then, when you're using a bench like this, and you just have one dumbbell, all you have to do is turn around, and now you can do the other side. Same routine. And as you do it like this, you can actually, you get rest on the one side while you're doing the other side. So you can actually just turn right around and go back to get your 3 sets in and it does kind of elevate your heart rate as well. So you're almost getting a little bit of a cardio workout by doing it. Not a lot, but it does stimulate you. Okay, so that's it. Bent over dumbbell rows. Okay, now we're on to biceps. A lot of different ways we can do biceps. Just happen to have a handy easy curl bar here. One of the simplest ways, and pretty straightforward, working your biceps. Just moving your hand from your side to your shoulder and keeping your elbows pointed down. That's as simple as it gets. And again, we'll kind of stay with the same rep theme. We do 6 to 8 reps and then increase the weight. Do another set and increase the weight. Do a third set. Your biceps have already been worked quite a bit by doing the chins and the bent over rows. So you don't have to kill yourself on this one. If you're 20 years old, go for it. But if you're 64 like me, or even if you're over 40, overtraining, you got to train hard, but you don't want to overdo it because you can take it too far and it takes too long to recover. Okay, last but not least on this workout is abs. Again, a million different ways to work your abs. Very subjective to what condition you're in now. If you're overweight, you've got the keg instead of the six-pack, one of the easiest ways to work your abs is, first of all, you got to kind of get that mind-body connection, be thinking about them, and you can do that by just simply flexing them, working them, getting the feel for your abs. And then a simple workout for your abs is simply raising your knees to your elbows. That's one of the easiest things you can do. No stress on your lower back, your belly doesn't get in the way. Pretty easy way to get started if you can't do anything else. But a number of other ones is a simple plank, and trying to stay in frame here, but a simple plank is where you hold your body at a steady state in one position like this, with your body as flat as it can be, and just hold it for time. Stay there as long as you can. You'll be surprised how short of a time you can do this for if you haven't done it before. But strive for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, just like this, and it'll work your abs. Of course, the obvious ones are crunches, which are a good go-to exercise. You got to avoid throwing your arms to throw yourself up. That's just momentum, and that's how you get injured, hurt your back. So again, focus on form. You can even do these if your stomach's in the way, just don't go as far. Just do a torso like this, you're still gonna pinch your abs. But if you're in pretty good shape, you can go all the way. And then when you're done doing a set of crunches, you can reverse the movement by doing leg raises, either straight like this or just in like that, depending again on your level of fitness. Now, working your abs is a little different animal than the rest of your muscles. You're really not trying to grow giant abs, not big. You're trying to get flat stomach and contoured and good looking six pack if you can. So you're going to be doing a little bit different. It's not really that important to do weighted exercises with abs. What's important, probably more important, is to get enough reps in that you feel the burn. So, and again, it's about going past your comfort point. So just when you start to feel the burn, don't stop then. Go a little further. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with doing with weights either, but it's not like you need to do a 500-pound crunch. You can work with weights or you can work with your body weight. Either way, you are working with resistance, and it's the kind of exercise that doing a few more reps, doing a higher rep range is probably better for the particular results that you're going for. So abs. So that's kind of the split. This part of the split, the pull part of the split, is legs, back, biceps, and abs. It's only going to take you maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes max, depending on your rest periods in between sets, to do this entire workout. So relatively basic stuff, nothing fancy, and you don't need to get fancy. And this is just one of the workouts you can do on your way to complete functional fitness. Thanks for watching this one.